Hi, welcome to Business Influencers. I'm your host, Chris Salem. You found us here at TALRadio, part of the Touch of Life Foundation. We hope that you are enjoying the wide array of different shows here on the TALRadio platform. It is hard to imagine that we've been here almost 4 years since its inception. God, time flies. But again, the show continues to grow each and every year because of you, the listeners, and we are so grateful for you that each and every week we want to bring in subject matter experts that will help elevate your level of influence and your business to the next level. We also encourage you to follow us also on Spotify, Apple, and also our YouTube version as well. So you have a different preferences in how you can either listen and watch and listen this show each and every week. Today's show is being brought to you today by Alumni Direct. Alumni Direct is a new social media community platform dedicated to bringing alumni together from all different generational types and an opportunity to meet new people for the first time. Now, this is a membership program, taking out all the noise out of social media, where you get to come in and generate genuine and authentic relationships with the people you choose to interact with. It also features a wide array of different services not available to the general public. And if you'd like some more information about Alumni Direct, check them out at alumnidirect.com. That's alumnidirect.com. Well, we got a wonderful show planned for you today, and this is someone that has been on our show more than once. She's been almost every year she is on the show, and we are so grateful to have her. We're going to be talking about achieve new heights in leadership. So you're going to be learning how you can be building you to the pinnacle of success. And we are going to be talking today with Sharon Burstein. I'll give a little background about her. She is the founder of Sharon Burstein International Speaking, Training, and Consulting, dedicated to helping individuals, corporations, and organizations reach their full potential. Through her unique background and focus on authentic leadership that is heart-centered, Sharon brings a genuine individual approach, her speaking, coaching, and consulting, and empowering each client to build confidence and achieve greater success with goals in their career, leadership, and life. Through her leadership, speaking, and training, Sharon has helped hundreds of thousands of clients around the globe to achieve greater accomplishments and balance in life, becoming more effective and successful leaders. And without further ado, we welcome Sharon Burstein to the show. Sharon, how you doing today?
I'm doing great, Chris. Thank you for having me back. I love being on this show.
We always love having you on, and it's always, this time of year as well, where we kind of kick off and close Q1 out on a good note, and you always have great content to share, especially around the leadership area. Let's talk about, achieving new heights in leadership. I say before you start addressing that, I mean, leadership is, a lot of people probably know what leadership is, or at least have their perspective of what it is. But where do you feel leadership is now, and what are going to be the new heights of leadership going forward?
Well, I think, one of the things so often people think about leadership as a position, and it's not. Leadership is what you do, but you also have your leadership image, which is who you are. And we need to bring the two, leadership image and leadership, together to make you the most effective. And honestly, my leadership style is going to be a little bit different than yours. And that's okay, because one size doesn't fit all. And one of the other things you want to look at leadership is there's leadership of yourself, there's leadership of your team, there's leadership of the company. And you have to know how to lead and how to follow. I mean, we're called leaders, or people who lead always go first, because that's why they're the leader. But you know what? A great leader, Chris, knows that you should turn around and know when to follow too.
Yeah, that's true.
So there are a lot more elements than just the position or the title and feeling that you are entitled.
And like you said, it doesn't have a title. It's just a way of being. It's your energy. It's how you show up, and that's what people relate to. A great leader is one gets somebody to open up, to communicate better, to feel included, and not just to be told what to do. And I'd love to hear your insights as a leadership expert. Based upon what you've shared. where do you feel, especially in these uncertain times as we move forward, what is the, what are those new heights? Where do you see leadership evolving to?
Well, I think, first of all, you have to believe in you and have confidence in who you are. And don't let anybody take that away from you. So when people were in troubled times at different things, never let anybody take who you are, your essence, in your authenticity away. Because even if you're not in a leadership role in your professional career, you are a leader in your own life. How you lead your life, how you lead your family, your children. There are different elements and ways and things that people lead. I mean, everybody can be a leader from a young age, from a child, right on up. There are no age requirements. There are no socioeconomic or geography barriers. Everybody has leadership potential within you. But the first step, Chris, is we know if you don't believe in yourself, is anybody else going to believe in you? I mean, even a child can spot a fake. You're a dad.
Yeah. Child will pick that up immediately. They can see the truth without even knowing it themselves. You can see it in their eyes and their smile.
I've seen it before. I mean, a number of years ago, I was sitting waiting for this leader that I was actually meeting with, and that person will remain unnamed. And it unfortunately happened to be a woman. And I was waiting for her, and through her office, I hear her screaming, "You have to respect me. I am your leader." And it was like, no. First of all, respect is earned.
Yes.
And, respect does not come with your title. You may have to do certain things, but you do not have to respect that person.
Yeah.
Leadership you have to respect, and that respect and trust is earned. So I think, if you're not feeling comfortable, sometimes, the number one reason people leave their jobs, and I study leadership all the time, is they don't believe in leadership.
Yeah, it's a lot of times it has to do with that. And you're right. And you think about it, Sharon, look at it like businesses, regardless of size, job retention is still a major issue. Absenteeism still on the rise. Job burnout is real. And these are all issues that each and every year continue to happen. And is it where everyone could say, well, it's the industry or it's the company overall, but how about the leadership, even from the top down? The leadership plays a role in that. We'd love to hear you share your insights.
Total. Top down, bottom up. And leadership is not a dictatorship. Let's be clear about that. Leadership is helping to develop more success in others. A great leader knows that leadership is not about them. It's about growing others. And the more you grow your team, the more successful everybody is. There have to be leaders, there have to be followers. If everybody's a leader, everybody's just going to fight to get their positioning, and nothing gets done. If everybody's a follower and nobody has the idea for vision, you're not going to see progress. So you need leaders, you need followers, you need people who are doing. But often those people who are in the trenches and doing are the ones who come up with a lot of innovative ideas, because they are also the ones who are doing a lot of the work. And really, leadership is a trickle-down effect, and it's a trickle-up. But the most important element that any and every leader knows is listening. Speak softly, but listen loudly. As speakers, yes, we speak a lot. But as a leader, you have to take time and listen.
Yeah. And can you expand on the listening? Because I think that is so important, active listening. Like you said, you claimed it's a lot. We got to listen loud. And, that means we got to really listen to relate and understand, and not just listen to respond. Talk about the importance of that, and how that, I guess, will build inclusivity and get people to open up, that is required if we're going to grow our teams and engage at a higher level.
Well, are you listening, but are you hearing?
Yeah.
That's it too. Are you just listening, and are you processing other things, or are you totally dedicated and focused on that person? And that's the one thing I would encourage. If you are speaking to any member of your team, you can always tell the difference when a great leader is actively engaged, because you will see that they are very tunnel visioned in their focus on that person or what is going on. Your mind can't be wandering. If you are doing that, you are having that exchange, because that is where lots of the rich nuggets and kernels of wisdom, because you understand what is going on. But a great leader knows you have to have vision. You have to, but you have a plan, but
Yeah.
you also need to know that you have to be able to think on your feet. Adaptability is a key thing.
Oh,
Because
you just said that word. Can you expand on that word, adaptability? Because agility and adaptability are those big key words now. I'd love to hear your thoughts on adaptability, because I think it's so important.
adaptability, I mean, how many of us have the luxury in a day? I have a plan every day. You do too, with things I need to accomplish and goals. Does it always go as to plan? Can I just go through those lists one at a time and just check and do them? No, the phone rings, this happens. It's the way life happens. We all have that. You have to be adaptable to change, whether you're in the trenches and something happens. You have to be able to think on your feet and move in any direction. That is a key thing for leaders. Don't let them see you sweat. Don't say, I don't know, what are we going to do? Oh my, poor us. No, a good leader will just focus. You have to, because people are depending on you. In many cases, that can be lives.
Yeah, depending upon the situation. Like, yeah, if it's something with a fire department, a police department, Army, Navy, any of the military, absolutely.
I mean, it's that's what you have to. The agility, being flexible. You cannot be rigid. You have to be flexible. You have to have a plan, but you need to know how to adapt it. It's no different than think about a football team. You've got defense, you've got offense, but you're not going to use the same plays. Or sometimes that play is not always going to be effective. You need to know how we're going to get down to the end zone, but we may not use the same plays. We're not going to use the same thing, do the same things with the same people. We may be using people in different positions, in different ways to get down there, to achieve our goal. And people are growing, and people are also working in tandem. So as you're sending your team, there are sub-teams that are also working that way. And you have to you're always a coach. I think football is always a great analogy, because you have a lot of people on that field working to both be aggressive and defend. Because sometimes you're selling and you're doing those things, sometimes you're manufacturing, sometimes you're going in many directions. But it takes a team to be effective, and it takes a team to build your success. I'm not going to be a success on my own. You're not a success on your own. I mean, we are in different ways. But if you totally want to be in your corporation, in your personal, professional life, it takes more than one. And we all have to be flexible in our lives.
Yeah, it's so true. And when I hear you say that, the first thing that comes to mind, and this was something I learned the hard way for the first 31 years of my life, was I always got caught up in the control I couldn't control, and that was other people and situations. I can't control what's going on in the industry I'm serving. I can't control the people, even people work for me. I can't control them literally, but I can control me and how I communicate better to them, or how I listen better to them. I can control my behavior and how it aligns with my communication. That I can do, and how I look at things for what it is and not what I think it should be, always being open to new ideas. That's what I got, what you just shared, and so valuable. What would you recommend to any leaders that are listening to the show? And I know you have a leadership summit event that you put on each and every year. It's an incredible show that goes really deep to the core of every great leader. What would be that one thing that you would recommend to a leader listening right now that they might consider doing something different from what you just shared?
Well, I think you have to take total responsibility for your life.
Yeah.
Accountability and responsibility. I mean, there is no they. It's only, we. We have to look together as we. And I like to say the 10 most powerful words in the world are, if it is to be, it is up to me. There is no they. You can't blame me. I'm responsible for myself.
Yes.
And you have to be, at the end of the day, you have to be the person. And you want to be dependable. You have to be adaptable, but you have to be dependable. I want to know you've got my back and I've got yours.
Yeah.
Because, there's nothing worse than going out there and feeling like you're hung out to dry.
Yeah. I mean, so the accountability for yourself and being the example of that, I mean, I feel what you just shared, I'm not saying it's guaranteed, but more likely to get people to now be inspired by that you're owning up to your mistakes or something fell through the cracks, knowing that you got their back. They're more likely to feel included from that and maybe now be accountable to their role and duties to now open up if they don't understand something, or not feel like if I say something, you're going to think I'm incompetent or stupid. More, and this is, my opinion, will improve so many things in that team environment. From what you just said, that accountability stuck out.
It does, and you have to be your image, the image you portray. How you look. When you look at a mirror, or that's the image that somebody sees back at you. So is that image one of, first of all, do they look confident?
Yeah.
How you walk, talk, speak, how you communicate, how you dress. It's all part of your leadership image. One size doesn't fit all. A three-piece suit isn't going to make it in like a rodeo situation.
Yeah. Or you run a plumbing company. Yeah,
exactly. But neither is a sequin dress going to make it in court. It's dress for success in the industry that you're at.
Yeah. And that's the adaptability.
Into complete sentences. Put these away, by the way. Put your thumbs away. We communicate best by doing what you and I are doing right now, speaking and meeting. Yeah. Thumbs have a place, but they can't replace people. And, it amazes me, even the amount of time that people spend on phones and how they communicate, because you can't find, my phone happens to be here. Yes, it's turned off while I'm speaking to you. But bottom line is, I can't understand unless I see you, your body language, seeing how seeing people. You want to be with people. Zoom is a nice alternative, and thank goodness, since, COVID and everything, that we've had this wonderful tool that we wouldn't have had 20 years ago. But learn to really pick up the phone. If you can't see somebody, then at least pick up the phone. Text has a purpose. Email has a purpose, but it should never replace people, because it's people who make connections and building relationships. And that's how we advance in our lives, is building relationships. Yeah,
so true. And relationships, and just what you shared earlier throughout the theme of this discussion, because again, when the title, Achieve New Heights in Leadership, building you in the pinnacle of success, you got to be that example. You have to be that example across all those areas that will rub off on other people to do for themselves. So no, I hear that loud and clear. Love that. In this time, I want to share, the time we have left here, Sharon. I know you have a leadership summit that you do each and every year. You've been doing it for a number of years. It always has great retention. Always, this, not only do the same people come back, but even more people come. So it builds upon that. Share a little bit about about the importance of educating leaders, either the leaders that are continuing to be good leaders or developing new leaders, and why summits like you are a platform to do that.
Thank you, Chris. Leadership Summit America is returning to Albany, New York, March 2021, first day of spring. Nice time to kind of review everybody up.
Let's hope that it is spring and we don't have that late upstate New York snowstorm that we can typically get.
That's true. But it will not rain on it, we will not diminish anything. This is year 9. So I created Leadership Summit America to bring people and leaders together from all walks of life, from early entrepreneurs to people who are more senior. We have people, as you've been there, and you're one of our revered speakers. And we're honored again to have the wonderful Christopher Salem with us again this year, along with many other incredible speakers. You can go on my website at www.sharonburstein.com. That has everybody's bios, and we have just amazing people returning this year. And there's a whole huge roster. But we also have our leader scholars. We do bring in our youth and education every year because we really work to connect. But you know what? I'm amazed and so touched that over 50% of people return every year to Leadership Summit America. We've had a couple who've made it all 9 years, and some people who come in and out. But it's all about how to be your best leader. And all of us talk about leadership in different ways. We have Dr. Lynette Louise, who is, a neurotherapist, one of the world's leading neurotherapists, talking about how we use our brain to lead and positioning a lot of those different things. We have Rick Yarosh and Tom Murphy with Sweethearts and Heroes, who are going to be doing some amazing things. We have Maggie Carey, who's coming, and really she's a social media maverick, and she's just outstanding. We have William Rivas, who's coming in, and he is a real community entrepreneur. What he has done, the stories that he shares and how he builds everybody up. And we have David Patterson, who is a renowned film producer, playwright, just to name a few. Our panels are riddled with just such talent. The whole purpose of Leadership Summit America is to build you up. And in a day and a half, we really change people. But it's not only changing and building your leadership, it's building those connections. And that's what I love, are the connections, business and personal, that have merged in how people have really come together. And those relationships, you've got a couple I know that you've met from Leadership Summit America.
Yep.
And that's what we're very proud of, is the meaning. It's not talking at people. We really connect. You as, all of my speakers, myself, you, we're all about connecting. And as you're a speaker, an effective speaker, it's connecting. It's building that connection to each audience, like we are speaking to you. And we want to connect everybody on all sides together so that you feel how much you've been empowered, enriched, and how much more you believe in all of your skill sets, in your mindsets, and giving you tips and tools that you can immediately use when you leave Leadership Summit America that will grow you in so many aspects of your career, leadership, and life.
Wow. And we want to encourage everybody to check out the website that Sharon mentioned. We'll also make sure that that information will be in the show notes as well. So this way, if you are in the New York State area, it could be anywhere, Northeast.
They come
you get there. And by the way, fly into Albany. You can get into Albany and fly in. I can tell you, I've been there several years, and it is just each and every year you walk away with an experience, and it's an incredible venue. Well, the hotel itself, my God, the Desmond Hotel, you can't, the bread pudding, I can't get enough of it. And I don't even eat sweets, but I eat the bread pudding.
Well, they'll be happy to know that. And yes, it is on for lunch again. But no, I mean, it's right off the runway. You're only in less than a mile from when you fly in, getting right over there. And that's why we also do it. Whether you're coming in by train, whether you're driving, the Desmond is on all the major road directions, north, south, east, and west. Train is only about 8 miles away. Airport is right there, and the hotel and the team there are marvelous. Yeah,
great venue, and just again a great atmosphere of people. Love that. And what we'd like to also do for you here, Sharon, besides the event, we also want people to know how they can get in touch with you personally as well. Connecting with you on LinkedIn or your website, email, whatever you'd like to share. We want to make sure people connect with you.
Well, I'm an open book, as you know, so people can always connect to me. You can call me at 518-339-4027. My email is Sharon, SHARON, at Sharon Burstein, BURSTEIN.com. And website is SharonBurstein.com. You can find information on Leadership Summit America, other speaking engagements, but really, I'm all about connecting with everybody and whoever is listening to this marvelous podcast of Chris's, because I know he is rich with content in every show he does. So call me direct, reach out to Chris. Let's all work together. Come to Leadership Summit America. Between Chris and I, let us help build you to be the great success and be the leader of your dreams.
Wonderful, Sharon. And again, we'll make sure everything is in the show notes. And in with the last 30 seconds, Sharon, if you could just take everything you shared in this show and just kind of sum up whatever you'd like to share about achieving new heights in leadership to leave our listeners and those listening later on what they can do to become a better leader.
You can be the success of your dreams. If you can dream it, you can be it, but it takes action. It takes something like listening to this podcast, coming to Leadership Summit America. Without growth, without really improving you, you're not going to be the leader that you want to be by osmosis without learning and becoming greater in your skill set. Your mindset, your skill set, and your attitude are all key elements.
Well said. And Sharon, thank you so much for taking the time out of your schedule. I know you were busy. You got the summit coming up. You also run a magazine, so you got a lot on your plate. And I want to thank you so much for taking the time to be with us here today.
Thank you for having me. Always a pleasure. Take care, Chris. See you in a couple of weeks.
Yes, absolutely. And listeners, we want to thank you each and every week joining us here at Business Influencers. Again, we are committed each and every week bringing in subject matter experts like Sharon to share their words of wisdom, insights, and personal experiences to help you personally and your business reach a whole new level of influence. Leadership is about influence, being the example, as Sharon talked about today, accountable, and again, always constantly striving to improve yourself, what she shared about building you in the pinnacle of success. Till then, everybody, have a great rest of your week, and we'll see you next week. Take care.